Hello, wrestling community. My name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka What Kind of Snacks You Want, because I got plenty to go around. This is my WWE Smackdown review and highlights. So, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel because I give you guys the full review, not the half my review. Follow my social media down below in the description, and go check out my AEW Dynamite review and highlights that I post on the channel. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, WWE Smackdown was a solid show for what it was, and it needs to go back to 2 hours instead of 3 hours. So yeah, I said it. That's all I gotta say. WWE Smackdown was on from Knoxville, Tennessee, Thompson Bowling Arena at Food City Center. All right, they call it the Food City Center. Is that why? That's why I feel so hungry. I mean, WWE did now forever together. Video package highlight from last week's Saturday night's main event, leading to the challenge made for a tag match at Money in the Bank, pairing Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against Logan Paul and John Cena. We get a look at the building, the crowd, and then the main players arriving at the Townsend Bowling Arena, including Bianca Belair, who is excited for her homecoming tonight. The crowd chants EST as Bianca Belair makes her way to gorilla position, and then her music hits as she heads to ringside. She looks elected, and as she gives a hug or to the two fans and her own and her way down the ramp, including her parents, before entering the ring to a nice pop from the crowd here in Knoxville. She gets a microphone as the crowd finally settles down to let her speak. Bianca Belair's homecoming, and this segment right here, um, this was a pretty cool segment by Bianca Belair. It was I was so happy to see Bianca Belair back on SmackDown tonight. She says it feels good to be here in Knoxville to a EST chant. She says she couldn't come to Knoxville without singing good old Rocky top right. She leads the crowd in a rendition of the UT fighting song before speaking again, talking about her safe space and everyone who shows up and shows out for her. She talks about everything she's been through the past few months and how important it was to come home to that safe space. She's not 100%, but she's getting better every day, and she wants to prove why she's the ESC of WWE when she returns. This draws another EST chant as she welcomes Knoxville to SmackDown. Only for only for Naomi only for Naomi's music to interrupt her. The crowd raining boos upon her, and as Naomi says, it's about time Bianca Belair show up to SmackDown. Bianca Belair says now is not the time for this. But Naomi insists it's been too long. Not a day goes by when she doesn't think about what's happening to them. Bianca Belair Bianca Belair asks what Naomi could possibly want from her, as the crowd lets Naomi know you suck. But all Naomi wants is Bianca Belair forgiveness. She's here because she wants to fix their friendship because she can. She's been trying to talk to Bianca Belair, but letting the past be the past and moving forward. And Bianca Belair refused to answer. She when she landed here, she went to Bianca Belair's parents' place to talk to to her, but she wasn't there. She wasn't there. In fact, nobody was. She let herself in. She looked through a photo album, thinking about things. Bianca Belair isn't pleased about this. We're ta- we we're reiterating that a two of them are thought, and if she comes near Bianca Belair's parents again, what Jay did to her would be nothing compared to what Bianca Belair would do. Naomi looks shook by this, but before telling Bianca Belair it wasn't looking good for her and her mother to be in a wheelchair. The crowd the crowd boos some more as she tells Bianca Belair she hates for something bad to happen to Bianca Belair right here, right now. But she comes but it says I'm sorry, it says Jay said where was I? It says the crowd boos some more and she tells Bianca Belair she hates for something bad to happen to Bianca Belair right here, right now. But here comes Jade Cargill storming down the ramp to lay into Naomi. Jade Cargill stares Bianca Belair down for throwing Naomi out of the ring. She starts to leave, but Nia Jax makes her way out, rounding out the competitors for our opening contest. As Nia Jax, Jade Cargill, and Naomi will face off in a Money in the Bank qualifying match up next. So we go to commercial break. We're back from the break, and this match is already underway. So we get the Money in the Bank Triple Threat qualifying match: Jack Cargill versus Nia Jax versus Naomi. And this match right here, good triple threat match by itself. This was a good triple threat match. Nia Jax gets sent out of the ring as Naomi goes after Jade Cargill, eager to take her biggest rival at a moment out on route. The money in the bank as she stomps away at Jade Cargill in the corner. Something something akin to Bianca to a bizarre drop from Naomi, who gets a 2 count from her efforts. She sets Jay Cargill up against the turnbuckle before Nia Jax runs in to intervene, but she is sent back out before Naomi goes to the turnbuckles once more, only to jump into a fallaway slam from Jay Cargill. They go at it until Jay Cargill hits a black hole slam sub abyss for a 2 count before Jack breaks it up. Jax overpowers Naomi and Jade Cargill. Bianca Belair playing the playing to the crowd. Nia Jax hits a leg drop on both women before going up top for a elevated one onto Naomi, who narrowly gets a shoulder up before a 3. Naomi stands to the ropes, but is pulled up by Nia Jax, who goes for a Samoan drop, only for Naomi counters with a perfect pin for a 2 count. Um, as well, we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Nia Jax continues to wear down Naomi before sending her out of the ring, but Jade Cargill comes in as the two go at it. Nia Jax manages to force Jade Cargill to the outside as Naomi gets involved, looking to keep Jade Cargill down. She steps onto the apron as um Jade Cargill comes into the ring, but it seems Naomi and Nia Jax have spotted to team up against Jericho Gill as they send her to the corner for some tandem offense. Snapper and a hit and a sliding lariat from Naomi the, to the approval of Nia Jax before Jay Cargill tries to fight back, but Naomi and Nia Jax continue to keep her down as we return from break. All right. Nia Jax drops Jade Cargill as Naomi goes for a leg drop in the cover, but Nia Jax breaks it up. Naomi looks none too pleased by this, rolling Nia Jax up for a near fall before Nia Jax gets back up to send her into the corner, and then hits a senton on the canvas for good measure. Jade Cargill managed to fight back now, sending Nia Jax sending Nia Jax into Naomi before hitting a kick for a cover, but Naomi breaks it up at 2. Um, Jay Cargill invades an aerial attack to hit Jaded on Naomi, but this subsequent pin is broken up by by I'm sorry by Nia Jax to save the match. Jade Cargill and Naomi fight it out until Nia Jax hits a crossbody on both of them, carving covering Naomi and then Jade Cargill for a pair of near falls. Nia Jax holds Naomi on her shoulders, climbing up for a Super Samoan drop and the cover. But Jade Cargill flies in with a splash to break it up. Before covering Nia Jax for a 2 count of her own, all three women are in their feet as the crowd gives a justified this is awesome chant. Nia Jax gets down to knocked down as Jay Cargill and Naomi fight out of the corner until Nia Jax slaps in for a Tower of Doom, sending both women down, annihilated on both women. But Naomi managed to sneak a roll up on a forearm Nia Jax for the pin. The winner of the winner and advances to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, Naomi. But this was a good triple threat match. But it was I don't know if this was the wrong decision or the right decision, but Naomi won. It is what it is. But this could have been Jade Cargill winning qualifying for the women's Money in the Bank, but that didn't happen. It is what it is. But this was a good triple threat match. All right. As she celebrates on the ramp, we cut backstage where the bloodline bump into R-Truth, who can't help but open his mouth and get himself into a match with JC Machado. Um, Later tonight, R-Truth walks off as Jacob Fatu says he saw Sokoa and Metro go get their fun. He got other business to deal with. So we go to commercial break. Backstage, Chelsea Green trying to hire her face mask talks to Nick Aldis about getting her nose being broken. Um, at Saturday night's main event, she demands Selena Vega to be stripped of the U.S. title, but Nick Aldis says Chelsea Green needs to be medically cleared to be granted a rematch. A match is suggested for Ever Fire for Selena Vega, and that's something Nick Aldis can't get behind as Chelsea Green. No, knows best. All right, we cut to Tiffany Stratton addressing the potential challenge of someone's winning the Money in the Bank briefcase before Naomi interrupts to warn her of what could happen when she wins Money in the Bank. She walks off before Alexa Bliss tells the champ to not to worry about Naomi winning Money in the Bank. Worry about Alexa Bliss and worry about Alexa Bliss winning Money in the Bank. She walks off as competitors hype up World Collides. All right, so we get a video package. Worlds really do some collab collab, as AAA Lardo Laredo Kid, NXT Ethan Page and Giovanni Neville and Smackdown Ray Fitness will face off in a fatal four-way match for Page NXT North America Championship. All right, later tonight, Ray Phoenix teams with Giovanni Evans to face Los Gaza in a tag team action. Back back at back at ringside, R-Truth makes his way out, rapping his name when some high five on his way down the ramp. He goes the ring as we go to commercial with Truth facing JC Machado, where we come back from the break from commercial break. All right, so we go to commercial break. After a look at ticket into for the big WWE weekend next month, we had we head back to ringside as Jason Montero makes his way apparently. So it's a call as we get this match on the way. So we get R-Truth versus JC Montero. This was a squash match. R-Truth charges at Montero, who sends him into the corner for a series of shoulder tackles. Shoulder tackles before truth launching truth to the opposite turnbuckle with a hammer throw. He lets True get to his feet, only to send him across the ring again. R-Truth dodges a charge from JC before hitting some John Cena shoulders, tackles that off, bang Metro off his feet before Metro off Mateo off his feet, but JC fights back with a suplex and a standing moonsault. JC mocks R-Truth before going for a senton, but Truth gets out of the way and looks for a five knuckle shuffle that connects, and he goes for it in AA, but Matado with drops him to the mat. Um, he brings R-Truth back to his feet for a tour of the island win. All right, so the winner of the match, JC Matado. This was a squash match. JC Matado looks to beat down R-Truth some more after the match. Finn Balor, Jimmy Uso comes down with a chair with a chair to keep the bloodline away. Soul Skull gets in the ring before he gets blindside. He gets blindside by JC Matado. Soul Skull takes to JC Matado, and they leave the ring, saying he was trying. He was trying. It took Jimmy Uso. It took Jimmy Uso. We cut away. Backstage segment, we see Street Profits as we hear. Well, um, it says what was it saying? It says backstage we see the Street Profits as we will hear from the WWE Tag Team Champions. That's what I was saying. So we go to commercial break. We get a clip from last. What do you want to talk about? As Cody Rhodes talks to his wife Brandy Rhodes, speaking of what you do want to talk about it. Cody Rhodes said, "Oh, Cody Rhodes and John Cena will go face to face tonight." All right, we head back to arena as the Street Profits makes their way out. The WWE Tag Team Champions down to the ramp heads down to the ring before Montez Ford talks first, hyping them up and the best here. Dawkins talks about the tag team coming after them with the most recent Y6 before for Montez Ford says they're I'll defend the titles against anyone. Alright. They bring out Fraction, no doubt having an access to grind after they tagged the titles broke down into chaos where when we the champs insist they just they just about had the watch watch war watch one before the rights. Nathan Frazier to run wants to run. What was I? Oh, it says it says what was I said this brings out Fraction and no doubt having an axe to grind after the tag titles match we broke down to chaos last week. The champs insist they just about to have the match won before the Y6 got involved, but Axiom says they never know. Frazier wants to run the match back, but here comes Motor City Machine Guns to 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 a case for themselves. All right. Out comes DIY to interrupt with Candice Ray running the other team down before she is interrupted by Chris Sabin. Johnny Gargano talks about how things are going except with the Y6. But Ciampa cuts him off before talking about the death of SmackDown. Tag team division outnumbered of silence begins now. The lights go out and, and when they turn back on, we see the Riot Six go after everyone. They could before Uncle Howdy lays out Nathan Frazier with the sister Abigail. They stand tall as as, as stand tall as Howdy yells. We're here before the Nikki Cross jump case takes the commercial. So we go to commercial break. We get a shot of the crowd in the arena, followed by a look back at what went down moments ago. Back at ringside, Los Garza makes their way to the ring for our next match as we see NXT North America champion Ethan Page commentary. Out next is Ray Phoenix to a nice pop. Nice pop. Um, it says nice to a nice pop from the crowd, followed by Giovanni Evans to get the tag bout underway. All right, so we get Ray Phoenix and Javon Evans versus Lars Garza. And this match right here, I might as well say this was a pretty good match. Braxton and Angel start things off as they trade strides. Angel picks up the pace only for Ray Phoenix to strike back. Getting a tag to Javon Evans and Berto makes the tag as well. Javon Evans gets caught with some strikes, but Berto following a near fall. Before Berto hits a crossbody for a two count. Javon Evans connects with an Instagram before being sent to the ropes, where he catches a bouncer bouncer but bouncy Rana to send Berto to the outside. Angel suffers the same fate as he sent to the apron before Ray Phoenix tags in before double team double team before Berto finds himself the victim of super kicks for a two count. Ray Phoenix picks up another near fall on Berto as we go to picture in picture. Alright. We're back from picture in picture. Giovanni Alves gets a tag, but it's met with an onslaught before Alberto gets the tag to Angel. He keeps the damage on Giovanni Alves before tagging Berto back in with Giovanni Alves being sent to the ropes for a shoulder tackle. Berto brings Giovanni Alves to the apron for a tag to Angel with a double team before as Angel sets Giovanni Evans up on the turnbuckles for more damage. He pummels at the back of Giovanni Evans before bringing him out. Yeah, bringing him to the canvas, and they props him against the ropes for a good measure. Giovanni Evans reaches out for a tag is kept away by Andrew as we return from commercial break. Angel brings Giovanni Evans to the corner to stay on the attack, but Giovanni Evans starts to fight back before Berto gets a tag in, sending Giovanni Evans down off of a gory special by Angel, but this only gets a two count before Giovanni Evans kicks out. Chinlocked by Berto when Giovanni Evans fights it, fights to his feet before knocking him down with a kick that made an Angel and a tag made to Ray Phoenix. Springboard crossbody takes Angel down before he takes down Berto, setting him up setting him up a base for a step up Hurricane on Angel. He sends to the corner for a double spinning moonsault before moonsault, but Berto breaks the count. Spider kill by Ray Phoenix. As Javon Evans gets a blonde tag, launching himself at Angel for for a forearm before Berto lays him out with a thirst kick. Another justified this is awesome chant as Javon Evans and Angel fighting back with their feet with strikes. Tag made to Berto who sent Giovanni Evans up for a powerbomb off the ropes, but only gets a two count. Tag made back to Angel. Yeah, tag made back to Angel, but a double team is interrupted by Ray Phoenix before Berto gets knocked out. Yeah, gets knocked to this gets knocked to the floor. what else I say? Tightrope walked into a stop on Angel, but Ray finished before Giovanni was launches himself at Los Garza to and Los Garza in the floor. They celebrate a they celebrate before staring down Ethan Page as the commentary, who tells them if it ain't tonight, they as they walk away, only for the champ to be sent Ray Phoenix over the announcer table. Giovanna was with their kid to lay out Ethan Page before entering the ring, but Los Garza goes after him. Yeah, goes after him before Giovanni fights back. He goes on the top rope. He goes to the top, but it's knocked off by Ethan Page while the referee is distracted, allowing Angel Garza to hit MTY on Giovanni to for the victory. The winner of the match, Lars Garza, in this tag team match. This was a decent tag team match. All right, commentary talks about what just happened before they are interrupted by Uncle Howdy, who reveals they won't stop until take a until what it takes is on. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, we head to ringside where Selena Vega awaits the arrival of Alpha Fire, accompanied by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, as the non-title match gets underway. So we get a non-title match. Alpha Fire versus the Women's United States Champion, Selena Vega. And this match right here, this match was okay for what it was. But I'm glad Selena Vega won. Fire goes on the attack earlier, sending the champ into the corner before Selena Vega fights back for a near fall. Fire turns back around, taking Selena Vega to the mat before the champ is and it hits an arm drag to send her towards the corner. And Fury follows until Fire picks up to send Selena Vega to the turnbuckles, but the champ forces Fire to the outside for a breather. To Selena Vega gets the champ, but a met with a right hand by Alba, only to only to be arm dragged into the ropes. But Chelsea Green stops her from doing a 619 before Piper never lays in a sneak attack. This pleads Alba Fire, which salutes Chelsea Green as we go to commercial break. Yeah, so we go to commercial break. It says back from commercial break, Alba Fire maintains control with a chin lock on Selena Vega until the champ fights back to her feet. Alba Fire gets knocked to the mat with a knee strike as both women are down, and the referee begins the standing mat in the knee as both women are down, and the rest begin the standing 10 count. They both make it to their feet before Fire. Before Fire is sent to the corner by Selena Vega. Fire lays into the champ before Selena Vega sets up for a Meteor for a cover and a 2 count. She brings Fire back with a suplex with a suplex, countering Fire's reverse into a jawbreaker before going up top for a moonsault. Fire rolls out of the way. Fire goes up top and connects with a swanton bomb covered by Fire, but the champ managed to kick out, but to save the match. The referee is distracted by Fire and Selena Vega, where each champ what was I? Chelsea Green primarily trying to attack the champ. Chelsea Green pulls her off face mask to hit Selena Vega to his Selena Vega, but he hits Piper Niven instead. Selena Vega slides back to the ring where the where she catches Fire with a cold red for the winner. Um, the win. Excuse me. The winner by pinfall, the Women's United States Champion Selena Vega. This match was okay for what it was. All right, backstage. The Miz has some words for Carmelo Hayes to hype him up for Money in the Bank qualifying match later tonight. He talks about going onto Money in the Bank, but Carmelo Hayes sets the record straight, saying he earned this. He runs the play as Miz is calling it, but he needs to let Melo do his thing. The Miz and apparently he as Hayes says Melo don't miss, and they are awesome him. All right. Elsewhere, we see Damian Priest, who no doubt has something on his mind as well. Before we go to commercial break, so we go to commercial break, we get a look back at the schedule for Money in the Bank weekend before. Video package Julia will approve. She is better. She is better than than the best impossible, best impossible. That's impossible to deny. Speaking of, she talks to Selena Vega backstage where she says she sees the champ, but she sees the title no more. Selena Vega scoffs at this before walking off, and we cut away. So Jill cut a backstage with Selena Vega, backstage promo. All right, I'm a I am suddenly reminded that this is a 3-hour show as Damian Priest makes his way to the ring to a decent pop from the crowd, for looking ahead to the future after his big cage match against Drew McIntyre. At Saturday night's main event, Damian Priest has a microphone as he talks about what his life going was going to growing up was like a how wonder how wonder and how like growing up like growing up was like and how I it reminded him of the battle that we went through last weekend to finally put Drew McIntyre through the pass. Yeah, we it says he also thanks Drew for reminding him who the old Drew is with the battle before turning to his attention to the next step before Damian Priest. Champion may not have a shot at Money in the Bank, but his eyes his eyes on the certain champion, Jacob Fatu. He respects Jacob Fatu, knowing what Jacob Fatu had to had to get through and what it feels like to stand in this ring as champion. He's proud of Jacob Fatu, the real. All right, I'm sorry. It says what he doesn't respect is the crew he follows around, and if they want to get involved, they can catch a fresh one. He doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to be nickname, but real, real when he looks to be a champion. Uh, it says group. It's a group. Uh, he leaves the ring when Jacob Fortu makes his entrance to two men staring each other down before Jacob Fortu he makes his way to the ring for our next match. He gets introduced to a graphic getting us using you already what's that get us ready for this match coming up next. That's the part I was at. Commercial break. Back from commercial break, Andrade heads down to the ring for followed by Carmelo Hayes to get this Money Bank qualifying match on the way. So we get the men's Money Bank qualifying. So we get the men's Money Bank True Threat qualifying match. Andrade versus Jacob Fatu versus Carmelo Hayes. Now this match right here, I might as well say this was a fun match. This was a fun match. All right. Carmelo Hayes gets sent to the apron as Andrade and Jacob Fatu goes at it until Andrade is sent to the corner before but fight but fights back for a crossbody and a cover for a near fall. Carmelo Hayes sends him out before going after Jacob Fatu, who responds with a nasty kick, sending him down hard. Carmelo Hayes Carmelo Hayes to the outside as the crowd chants for Jacob Fatu, but a dive attempt is cut off by the Miz, allowing Melo to try and roll up the ramp. That that turns out to be a non-goal, but Jacob Fatu is sent out of the ring anyways as Melo and Andrade go at it in the ring. Jacob Fatu stares down Miz for pulling him out, intercepting a drive but by Andrade, but to lay out the Miz against the barricade as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Jacob Fatu gets laid out on the outside, allowing Melo and Andrade to go after each other in the ring. As Carmelo Hayes goes for a suplex, but Andrade blocks it, sending Carmelo Hayes onto the ropes. Instead, Jacob Fatu slides into the ring to absorb some forearm before knocking Andrade down as the U.S. champion um, take over. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade before seeing Carmelo Hayes to the floor. Seeing Carmelo Hayes to the floor. He keeps on the attack against Andrade. He knows. Yeah. It says starts fight back as we go to commercial break. As we come back from the commercial break. Gotcha. Jacob Fatu responds by seeing him sending him to the floor in the corner, but Melo involvement leads to he and Andrade narrowly avoiding a hip attack from the Samoan werewolf. Carmelo Hayes keeps Jacob Fatu down to take a head scissors from Andrade, who gets a near fall for his efforts. Carmelo Hayes goes to the top rope before Andrade hits him with two Spanish flies. Um, only for both men to be hit with a splash by the champ. He goes on top for a moonsault, but Andrade intercepts. Penalty is made but broken up as the three-man fight fight to their feet. All right. So it says Carmelo Hayes gets the drop on Andrade for a 2 count, but Jacob Fatu is back on his feet, only to take a cold breaker and poison runner from Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. Carmelo Hayes sneaks up on Andrade with the first 48 to get a near fall. Andrade escapes to the floor to pull Carmelo Hayes out, and the two go at it before Carmelo Hayes lays Andrade out. Andrade only to be knocked by by Jacob Fatu as well. Jacob Fatu gets them set up on the barricade as as he comes as he comes as he comes charging down. But Melo and Andrade dodges in the nick of time, forcing the champ to go crashing through the barricade into the crowd as we go to pitch and pitch. That was a brutal spot right there when Jacob Fatu went full speed and crashed through the barricade. So we go to commercial break. Back from picture in picture with the champ, with a champ still laid out. Carmelo Hayes and Andrade bring the fight back to the ring before Melo leaves to grab from underneath. Andrade has the same idea, but a chair, but Carmelo Hayes cuts him off to DDT, which into him. The chair only to the floor. They return to the ring as Andrade goes up top, only for Melo to cut him off, to send him crashing down hard with a flex to the ground to the crowd for good measure. But Andrade gets a cradle for a near fall. Before men are down, we can't and we don't. Yeah, and we don't. What was that? Andrade breaks the count. All right, here it is. He gets sent to the corner as Jacob Fatu looks for a Samoan drop on Carmelo Hayes, only for Andrade to stop it and takes a near fall instead. JC Matano and Souls Cole make their way to ringside as Carmelo Hayes catches Andrade for a near fall before Jacob Fatu breaks it up. He sets Carmelo Hayes on the turnbuckles before scooping up Andrade and a double Samoan drop only leads to Andrade taking it before Jacob Fatu missed a moonsault. Kamala Hayes takes advantage to get a near fall, and he and Andrade trade near falls attempts. First 48 by Mello leads to a spinning back elbow by Andrade. All three men are down on the canvas. Jacob Fatu is on his feet as he drops Andrade before sending Mellon into the corner for a running hip attack. Implant DDT once more on Andrade, followed by a double jump moonsault. But the referee doesn't make the count as Solo hops on the apron. Sosako tells Jacob Fatu to do one more, and and JC Machado also makes the order, and that rallies Jacob. What's his name? Jacob for two, not Jacob for two. Um, as he runs before Jimmy Uso clears out Jason Machado. Jacob for two gets knocked off the apron, but gets rolled up by Andrade for the win. The winner of the match advances to the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Andrade. This was a fun match right here. Fun triple threat match. Check out my two August with JC Machado and Soul's Code as we cut backstage where LA Knight issues a warning to the rest of the Money in the Bank ladder match. This man is speeding through his promo like it's being broadcast on Twitter. Twitter means X before Alistair Black interrupts him to simply say you're welcome before walking off. Elsewhere, we get a look at Cody Rhodes ahead of going face to face with John Cena. So we go to commercial break. Backstage, Takeover 2 goes on a rampage after losing his match moments ago. Solo tries to calm him down, but Takeover 2 simply says, the first time, stop trying to help. He walks off, leaving us. Machado and Jacob for two as as we cut back to commercial break. Typing, hopping, hyping up World Collides, um, including a women's tag team champion and a notable no longer spoiling the AAA Megan champion El Hydro del Makino takes on Chad Gable along with the Fatal Four Way of the NXT North American champion. All right, there from I'm saying from there we get to rundown for Money in the Bank, including ladder matches and a tag team match featuring Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes versus John Cena and Logan Paul. On that note, we return to ringside. This been rough talking. Actually, no, there's plenty more talk to come in our non-main event. Cody Rhodes makes his way to the ring and out, and the crowd sings to his song. So we get Cody Rhodes and John Cena goes face to face, or maybe not, brother. And this segment right here, this was a this was a good segment in my opinion. Yeah, this is a good segment. Cody attempts to talk, but is caught off by the crowd chanting his name. They finally quiet down as Cody Rhodes and Knox asks Knoxville all day important questions. What do they want to talk about? We could talk about the record breaking crowd in Knoxville, or we can talk about WrestleMania 41. He talks about the doubtful moment he had after losing the title, thinking to fire and to fire that he asked what was a good champion. The response he got with everything you went through in the ring and behind the scenes. Yes, you were a good champion, and that was a hopeful moment for Cody Rhodes as he as he thought about this past year. All right, he thought about AJ Styles for getting retirement to get the drop him. He thought about his friends attacking him at the tour bus while his family was sleeping on the other side, and he thought about the final boss demanding his soul. The scariest part was that he was 100% serious. And lastly, Cody Rhodes about John Cena. Dueling chants of the "Let's Go Cena" and "Cena sucks" from the crowd. Cody Rhodes says he thought about John Cena doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He gave Cody Rhodes a choice, and he hesitated. He doesn't know if John Cena is going to run wrestling, but a certain had had that going to for him. He says if John Cena is listening, he needs to know. And Cody was would not hesitate ever again. He needs to know for all his counting down to leaving the business. He expiration ex, expiration expiration ex, ex, expiration will come when he looks into the eyes of Cody Rhodes. He apologized for being all worked up, saying he wants to know what he can do. He's back on SmackDown. What about a surprise? That's curious. Bring up a yeet chant from the crowd, to which Cody Rhodes says that they look hungry. Maybe they should yeet. He says that would be his partner riding into battle at Money in the Bank, and and he and his and he is here. Give it up for your World Heavyweight Champion, the main event, Jey Uso. Yeet. Jey Uso makes his way through the crowd, and they yeet along with the champ before Jey Uso makes his way down the steps. He keeps up the energy as we go to a commercial break. So we go to commercial break. Um, back from back from the break, the yeeting continues to no improve. Jey Uso enters the ring. Another big pop from the crowd. The fans love it, love it so much. And we get an encore, and I really get the feeling John Cena isn't on. Never mind. The man on a mission to ruin wrestling seems to give a good college try by interrupting the Yeet Fest. The crowd chanting John Cena sucks at the 17-time last real world champion makes his way to the ring. John Cena walks around in the ring to grab a microphone before stepping through the ropes to a chorus booth. John Cena says John Cena says he's upset too, calling the pair in front of him pro wrestling biggest wannabes. More specifically, they both want John Cena, and it makes him sick. They want his money and his fame, but they but they but they won't get it. There is one other person in the WWE exemplifies hustle, loyalty, and respect, and he has the same frame and fortune to back it up. He introduced his partner for Money in the Bank, Logan Paul, as I fight on my primal urge to shut the crowd off and call it from abyss. I go call for my life. I'm sorry. All right. Cena calls out the crowd for being mad at Logan Paul, saying he doesn't need to pay his dues because he's paying their mortgage of likes of Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. The fans did not come here to see Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. They came here to see John Cena and Logan Paul. Logan Paul runs down the crowd as I can feel a headache going on. Paul types him Paul hypes himself up before running the Knoxville crowd some more. This is a moment that they all get to witness, the moment that John Cena got to stand side by side with Logan Paul. All of you will leave long miserable past lives, but at least we get to say we get to say you saw the crowd. Let 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 Logan Paul know what he can do something Paul laughs. All right. He says yeah, he says there's a problem that he should be standing besides the WWE champion as the WWE champion. He should left Saturday night main event with the World Heavyweight Championship around his waist, but Jey Uso got lucky. He remains Jey Uso that Cody Rhodes helped him win. Um, calling calling the two cheaters unequal bodies that were born on their thinking they hit a triple. He calls himself John Cena. He calls himself John Cena. Made fun made fun when saying nobody thought Logan Paul will be a nice WWE superstar. Let's let alone teaming with the greatest of all time. I do not like Logan Paul, and I don't care what nobody say. All right, let me continue. He's not the only superstar, but he's the superstar. His time is now, and Cena and John Cena has talked about this about his time being up before calling out Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. To that, Jey Uso says they can't handle this right now. Yeet. John Cena and Logan Paul seem to have an argument before how to handle this something called this something Cody Rhodes before call out before the final man go at it. John Cena is sent out of the ring as Logan Paul looks to hit whatever he calls a buckshot lariat, but Cody Rhodes dodges it before laying Jey Uso down. Logan Paul clears the ring to regroup alongside John Cena as Cody Rhodes grabs the WWE title to stand alongside the World Heavyweight Champion to bring SmackDown to a close. Alright, and let me go over this quick results before I get my outcome about thinking about SmackDown. Quick results. Women's Money in the Bank Triple Threat qualifying match. Naomi defeated Nia Jackson, Jericho Gill. JC Machado versus our Truth squash match. Las Garza defeated Ray Phoenix and Giovanni Evans. Pretty good tag team match there. Non-title match. Women's United States Champion Selena Vega defeated Alba Fire in a decent match. Men's Money in the Bank Triple Threat qualifying match. Andrade defeated Carmelo Hayes and Jacob Fatu. That was a good triple threat match. And Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and Logan Paul, John Cena, they had a solid promo on SmackDown, and WWE SmackDown goes off the air. And let me give my honest opinion what I think about WWE SmackDown. Now, WWE SmackDown was a solid show for what it was, and it needs to go back to 2 hours instead of 3 hours. And that you know that's facts. When I saw the report about SmackDown was going to be 3 hours, I was not happy, and I know I'm not the only person that was not happy about it. Showstopper TV was not happy about this either. He wants to go back. He wants SmackDown back to two. He wants Showstopper TV wants SmackDown to go back to 2 hours. I can't do nothing but agree with him. Just like I said it myself, I want SmackDown to go right back to 2 hours instead of 3 hours. So that's all I gotta say. That's just my opinion. I'm going to stand on it. So anyway, SmackDown was a solid show for what it was, and SmackDown needs to go right back to 2 hours instead of 3 hours. So anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE SmackDown review on highlights, please watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end, where I give you guys the full review instead of and I don't give you guys the half my review. Um, like, comment, share, subscribe. Um, follow my social media down below in the description, and I will be streaming Capcom Collectors 2 live on Twitch tomorrow. So make sure you guys be there or be square. Um, all I gotta do is get 3 average views on Twitch. I become affiliated for the second year in a row. So that's all I gotta say. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some Capcom Collectors 2 live on Twitch. It's gonna be awesome. I'm trying to get everybody up in the chat. And I already gave some VIPs to my community on Twitch. That's what I gotta say. But anyway, this your boy B-Boy Snapshot TV. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I want to give a very special shout out to Hot Shot for doing a 12-hour stream. She's live right now playing Batman. Oh my God. Shouts to Hot Shot for doing a 12-hour stream, and I'm having so much fun at her live stream. And shouts to Jimmy as well, too. Shouts to everybody that tuned into my WWE Smackdown review and highlights, man. And shout outs to Pookie 2323 for becoming an affiliate. And shout outs to Squidorello for also becoming an affiliate as well, too. So Pookie 23 and Squidorella, shout out to you as well. And shout out to my boy Showstopper TV for doing a good job on this live stream on Twitch. I was there as well too. All right, enough of that. Shout out to everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And shout out to my boy Tony Scales as well for playing some retro games live on YouTube as well. So shout out to my boy Tony Scales as well. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I'll see you guys tomorrow live on Twitch for some Capcom Collectives 2 live on Twitch. And that's all I gotta say. And I'm gonna see you guys there. Stay too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. At the end of the day, it's all about supporting each other, loving each other. Because at the end of the day, it's just too sweet. And I'm out of here. Gang.